Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm excited to kick off today's presentation with a focus on something that's crucial for game designers and players alike: the 4 pillars of long-term replayability. This framework helps us understand how to create games that people want to come back to again and again. Over the next few slides, we'll explore each of these pillars: variety, mystery, prestige, and dopamine, and see how they work together to turn even simple games into lasting experiences. So let's get started. All right, let's talk about the first pillar, variety, which is all about maintaining freshness in the game. The key idea here is to make sure players never feel like they've seen it all after just a few sessions. In reality, if a game lacks variety, players tend to lose interest pretty quickly and their retention drops off. From the player's point of view, though, when you introduce enough variety, each run feels new and exciting. That keeps them engaged and eager to try just one more time. So how do we build this variety into our game? One effective way is through randomized elements, things like spawn points, enemy mixes, loot tables, and even maps. These randomizations ensure no 2 runs are exactly the same. We can also add cosmetic toggles, like palette swaps, emojis, or sound variants, which give players visual or auditory variety without affecting gameplay. Modular events are another great tool. They can be easily added or removed, keeping the experience fresh and flexible. And finally, branching paths or optional challenges give players choices to make during their runs, adding an extra layer of unpredictability. Looking at some examples, Tetris randomizes the piece order every game, so it never plays out exactly the same way. Hades offers different weapon boons and enemy layouts each run, which keeps the gameplay feeling fresh and unpredictable. Mobile puzzle games often use daily palette swaps or challenge modes to give players new reasons to return. The main takeaway here is simple but powerful. Variety is what drives the just one more run loop. It's what makes players want to keep coming back for more because every session feels unique and rewarding. Let's talk about the second pillar, mystery, or what we might call curiosity. The key idea here is to create a sense that the game still holds secrets, that there's more to discover even after players have spent hours exploring. When done well, mystery keeps people talking long after launch, sparking discussions and speculation. From the player's perspective, this is about curiosity. They wonder, what else could be hidden here? Did I miss that rare event or secret encounter? It's that feeling of wanting to uncover what's behind the next corner or what's hidden in the game world. So, how do we build this sense of mystery? One way is through hidden logs or journal entries that unlock gradually as players explore. These can contain clues or lore that reveal more over time. Rare spawns or events with very low drop rates, less than 5%, are another effective method. They make players feel like they've uncovered something special and unique. We also see mystery in fragmented lore, pieces of story or world building revealed slowly, encouraging players to piece things together. Conditional events are another tool, things that only trigger under certain stats or conditions, making players feel like they're uncovering secrets that are only accessible to the most dedicated. Looking at examples, Pokemon's shinies and hidden evolutions create a sense of wonder. From Software's games hide lore in fragments and detailed item descriptions, encouraging players to dig deeper. The Binding of Isaac offers rare room spawns and unlockable bosses, rewarding exploration and curiosity. The main takeaway here is simple. Curiosity keeps players engaged beyond just grinding or completing objectives. It turns gameplay into a mystery worth solving, making the experience richer and more memorable. Let's talk about Pillar 3, prestige, which I like to think of as the long-term arc of a game. The core idea here is that while runs or sessions are expendable, your legacy, what you leave behind, stays. This creates a sense of lasting achievement. In the real world of gaming, prestige provides a structure for forever play. It encourages players to keep coming back, knowing that their progress isn't just temporary. From a player's perspective, even if they don't win every time, they're still moving forward because they're building their legacy. So, how do you build this sense of prestige? One way is through permanent unlocks, things like skins, badges, or new game modes. that stay with the player forever. Then there are prestige cycles that reset periodically but come back with bonuses, like glowing borders or special emblems, giving players a fresh way to show off their progress. Another key element is lifetime stats and leaderboards. These allow players to see their overall achievements and compare themselves to others, reinforcing that their long-term effort matters. You can also add optional difficulty ladders, like hardcore modes or endless challenges, to deepen engagement for those who want an even greater sense of achievement. Looking at examples, Call of Duty resets a player's prestige with new emblems, Diablo or ARPGs have ladder seasons and character resets, and Overwatch offers lifetime stats, borders, and cosmetic unlocks. These all serve to keep the experience alive and meaningful over time. The main takeaway here is that prestige transforms what might seem like disposable runs into a lasting journey. It's about creating a sense of ongoing progress and legacy that keeps players invested for the long haul. All right, let's dive into Pillar 4, dopamine, or what we call the feedback loop. The core idea here is to make the game feel good every second. When we talk about dopamine in this context, we're referring to those little hits of pleasure the player gets from their actions, keeping them engaged and motivated. From the company's perspective, without dopamine, the gameplay loop can feel flat or uninspiring. It's like there's no spark to keep the player hooked. But from the player's point of view, every action should give them a hit, a small reward that makes them want to keep going. They should feel, every action gives me a hit, I don't want to stop. So how do we build this dopamine feedback loop? First, by implementing tight audio and visual cues, things like clicks, flashes, vibrations, that reinforce each action. These cues create an immediate and satisfying response. Next, micro-rewards, think multipliers, small animations, or sounds that give frequent little wins, making the gameplay feel rewarding at every turn. Additionally, we want to create immediate relief or reward spikes. For example, a panic drop or bonus pickup that suddenly boosts the player's progress or score. This gives an instant sense of accomplishment and motivates continued play. Another technique is what I call popcorn packing. It's about sprinkling frequent little wins throughout the game, so players always feel like they're making progress, never waiting too long between rewards. Let's look at some examples. Candy Crush uses cascading matches with sound pops that give that satisfying chain reaction feeling. Hades offers visual bursts and booming sounds on kills that make each victory feel powerful. Street Fighter delivers crunchy hit sounds and screens shake, making every punch feel impactful. The key takeaway here is that dopamine makes every moment worth it. When players feel that thrill, that rush of reward, they're more likely to stay engaged and keep coming back. That's the magic of building a strong feedback loop. All right, let's bring it all together. On this slide, we're looking at how these core concepts, variety, mystery, prestige, and dopamine, work together to create a compelling game loop. Starting with variety, in the short term, it makes each run feel fresh and new, which keeps players excited to jump back in. Over the long haul, that same variety encourages players to say, just one more, because there's always something different to discover. Mystery sparks curiosity right away. You want to explore more because you don't know what's behind that next door or what secret awaits. In the long term, mystery can unlock new paths and extend the game's lifespan, giving players more reasons to keep playing. Prestige gives players a sense that progress is meaningful. When they see their achievements translating into real, tangible results, like unlocking new classes or permanent upgrades, it creates a loop of mastery and legacy. It's about making players feel like they're truly advancing and leaving something behind. Dopamine is the immediate reward. Every satisfying combat hit or loot drop makes the moment pop. That instant gratification encourages players to keep coming back, turning repeat plays into a kind of addictive cycle. Now, when designing these mechanics, I recommend following a simple set of blueprint rules. Keep systems lightweight, small, modular elements like colors, emojis, or tables, rather than complicated codebases. Also, layer your design. Start with dopamine, Then add variety, bake in mystery, and cap it with prestige. This layered approach builds a balanced, engaging experience. This approach works across genres, whether it's arcade shooters, roguelikes, puzzle games, clickers, or rhythm games. Let's look at a case study: classic roguelikes. They use randomized maps and loot tables for variety, hidden bosses and secret rooms for mystery, unlockable classes and meta progression for prestige, and satisfying combat and loot drops for dopamine. The result: simple mechanics that become endlessly replayable. It shows how combining these pillars thoughtfully can turn a straightforward game into a deeply engaging experience.